Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. What's up, everyone? This is MC Till. You are tuned into the Boom Bap Chat. Very excited about tonight because the reintroduction here. You've seen this person before a couple weeks ago. We have Prowess, the Testament. What's up, Prowess?
What up? What's
What
up,
up?
everybody?
What up? What up? Thanks for being a co-host this month. Really loved your
Yes.
energy a few weeks ago and extended the invite for you to co-host with us and excited that you said yes.
Yes. I'm excited that I was welcomed back because this was so much fun and I love the show. And I also had forgotten to give the salute to Jamil Honesty because he was just on here and that's my homie. And
Mm. Yeah, he's dope. Love
yeah,
Jamil Honesty. Yeah. So glad that you could be a co-host. And our guys, Iomas Marad and Profound, Joe November, they're not going anywhere. Just, life happens, football coaching, school, kids,
yeah,
families. There's just stuff going on. So they're not going anywhere. So they'll be back. But just excited to have you joining us as well. And for those of you expecting another face here as well, Torae, still working on that. So hopefully that still works out. I think the Knicks game has something to do with what's going
yeah,
on. I think he's been abducted by the Knicks, the Knicks fan, or
yes.
the Philly fans, maybe, because it's in Philly tonight, right?
It is. And you know
Right?
what? Listen, it's game 6. And if he's
Yes.
going to be late for anything, this is why. This
Yes.
is a very articulated reason. We don't even need to know because we know because the game is tied right now.
Oh, it's tied.
And
Okay,
yeah,
good.
end of Q3.
All right.
So
Are you going for one team over the other here
I
in the
mean,
series?
I'm personally I want to see the Knicks. You know what? I think it's the we gotta go with it, even though I'm still upset about them kicking Mark Jackson out, and I'm upset about them kicking
Yeah.
Oakley out. But you know what? They need to we need this. I feel like the dynasty is time for them to come back.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is a dynasty too, but it ain't their time. I feel like it's let's give it up. The Knicks, like they need this.
Yo, world, you heard it here first. Prowess the Testaments make a declaration. It is not the time for the Philadelphia 76ers. It is the time for the Knicks.
Yes, Philly don't come for me. I know how y'all roll.
I I have nothing against Philadelphia, but I just like this Knicks squad. Like they just I don't
Same.
there's something about them that I just like. They have something, you know?
I think so too. I mean, I'm like, you know what? It's they have been playing like they want it more. That and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
to me is just like that's the reason.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like I saw somebody saying the series is on bath salts, and I was laughing. I was like, I get that reference because it's just like, um, but Embiid is not playing like he wants it, and um I feel like but this game, which if y'all are watching, till they have been at each other's throats every possession. It's
Oh,
been
really?
like this scrapped this week. Like Philly is like, hold on, we're not just gonna let y'all take it that easy. We gonna say
Right.
so we'll see what happens here because Tyrese Maxey was trolling people or something like that. So I don't know.
I,
if
lo- I I like all the antics though. It's fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I think certain players understand that, it's very much entertainment as much as it is a sport, and so
yes,
they kind of play that role as well and just have fun with it. So I like that.
yes, agreed. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
see Marcus is a Celtics fan. Yes, I
Yeah,
need
man.
Clovers all day. C's up. I'm listen, that's where we at.
Yeah, I hope my family from Indianapolis is not watching right now, but I am a Celtics fan and I'm rooting for them to go all the way. So I hope the
Green
Pacers play them
power.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do like the Pacers though. Uh, so salute to them because they won. All right, so what we want to do just for a moment is since Torae is on our minds, we want to celebrate Torae. If you're watching live, you can comment what you think about these albums, but we're gonna go through and talk about some albums. And the first one I personally want to talk about because this is the one that really got me hip to Torae and made me just love Torae is the double barrel joint It's
Yes.
Torae and Marco Polo. And I remember hearing this album for the first time, thinking, "Man, this is amazing! Like this is just dope, boom bap. Like all the beats are really hard
Yep.
and grimy, and Teray just has that very grimy voice, and just like I don't know, just it. I think the two worked really well. The beats of Marco Polo and the voice and presence of Teray just are just a really good match. And so
Agreed.
yeah, I
Yeah.
really like this album. Do you remember the first time you heard Torae?
Um, I do. I feel like it may have been that album as well. So Daily Conversation, I feel like
Mm,
I got a chance to hear that. And that really was kind of for me, I guess, the foundation laying for him. I knew that because it was the gritty production I was attracted to. And so I was really interested at that time because it he kind of gives a little bit of a glimpse into what he, set the stage for. I think what he already knew, like I'm coming in the game, it's
mm,
about to be, something interesting. Like stick with me and y'all are gonna see. And then the next year you get double barrel. So it was just
yeah,
like he came right in and he put forth like what he the promise that he put out there on Daily Conversation he brought out. And so I'm definitely a fan.
yeah, same. And then he puts out at some point, a little bit later, this lovely record for
For
the
the
record.
record, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What do you remember about this record?
Um, I feel like that album is sort of like when we talk about setting the stage, that album for me is like after the stage has been set, you have the opportunity to get a testament to like what
Mm,
name drop, but like it's really genuine and introspective. And like I feel like that's what he's become known for. So it's like a couple of years later, he's starting to get more into his story. You started to learn more about him. But I also like it goes from like this gritty kind of production to being way more soulful.
yeah,
And I really like the fact that like that is that is what he's become known for, but he
yeah,
wasn't always known for that. So I'm just like he really did something unique with that project, and I think ushered in a little bit at that point in time. There wasn't as much around narrative around like contemplative, what's it like just being in a person's shoes. And
right.
so I love that record for that.
Yeah, I feel like to your point, we got to see Torre's personality a lot more in this album, and not just in what he was, talking about, but in the
Yeah.
in the beats that he chose. I mean, like you were saying,
Yes.
it's more soulful. The double barrel is much more gritty, and so just the
Yes.
the beat selection, I think, tells us something about Torre, and his musical taste is pretty eclectic. And,
Yeah.
and I remember watching a podcast interview. And someone was interviewing him, and he was saying how he listens to all kinds of music, even country
Yeah.
music at times, and like R&B and
Yes.
all kinds of stuff. I was like, yeah. So you
And
you
you
can
can
kind of,
hear that, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
because the beats on here, I mean, it's a pretty cohesive album for the most part. I do think there's some beats on here that, there's a little bit more eclectic sound on this one than
Yes,
Double Barrel
agreed,
for
agreed.
sure.
And I
So
we just talked about these folks earlier, but I'm like, to me, this he got Large Pro, it's Pete Rock, it's
yeah,
Ninth Wonder, it's Cream, it's
yeah,
Ill Mind, and then you got Praise. It's like it's a little bit, it's just like that's a cool mixture to me. But
yeah.
it's like it gives a good foundation of what he also grew up on, what he listened to. That's also why I really like that project too, because all you get a little bit of a taste of no matter what your production sound that you like is, you get it on there.
Yeah. Speaking of Praise, Praise also does some of the joints on this entitled album here by Torae.
Yes.
Uh, and this also has one of my favorite Torae songs of all time, which is the Saturday Night.
Oh yeah.
Was it Saturday Night is a bonus track. I think it's produced by DJ Premier, but
Yes.
it's
Yep.
just the storytelling. And like when we interview him, I want to ask him about I don't know if you remember this. There's a line where like a ninja comes through the door and opens his mouth, but nothing comes out for like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And it conjures up that like those old, kung fu movies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just the storytelling on that. It's just a wild story. So yeah,
Yes.
but
I
pretty good album. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
like that album too. And I also that album features, which is is interesting to me. Not that he's not dope, but Mac Wilds, because
Yeah.
it's like a and that's an Illmind track. I just wanted to know how that came about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I mean, again, Apollo Brown and Knots is on this album too. It's just like, and
Yeah.
Jaleel Beats with, I feel like right now, kind of like they have the three of them, Jaleel Beats, Knots, and Praise, really, and Mark Infinite's on this album. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
they
Yeah.
ushered in to me, like they were in this classic era of like that 2016, 17, 18 Apollo Brown, all of them. And now it's like a lot of people who are, you follow one of those paths. Like you like Illmind, you went, you like Mark Infinite, you went a certain way. You like Apollo Brown, but it
Yeah.
just had something. And I love the fact that I thought it was funny. Apollo Brown does Coney Island's Finest. And to know that, like, well, it's Coney Island, but Apollo Brown, because Detroit has the Coney. And
Right.
I just felt like that was a entendre. I don't know if that was on purpose that he asked
Yeah.
to do that song on the
Yeah.
project, or that just came about like he named it that because yeah, like Coney Island, or was it like I got to get Apollo on this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good observation. And I like the drums. Apollo Brown sometimes gets or I've heard online criticism for his drums sounding the same,
Yeah,
which
yes,
I think he's always dope. But the drums on there sound a little different too.
yeah,
So
agreed.
that's fun.
Yeah,
So then praise, Torae couldn't get enough, so he made all praises due with
yes.
all praise production. A little EP at 7 songs, nine, eight,
Is it
nine
8 on
maybe.
there?
8. It's 8. Yeah.
But it has
It's 8.
a yeah,
It has some instrumentals at the end. So,
yes,
but yeah,
that's what it. Yeah,
8 songs. I what I like about this I like one producer albums, and I
yes,
like a
yes.
sound, throughout the album, and this
Although
definitely
although
has
it's
that.
not on one producer, right? Beat Miners have like 3 tracks on there.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I think I
Maybe
don't know if Praise did them with them, but I feel like all praises due.
they didn't give him credit.
Beat Miners have like maybe it's like they. I thought Beat Miners produced a joint or two,
Okay, we
and I
definitely
feel
need to
like it's
ask
more
him
than
about
one
that.
song.
We
But yeah,
we
we
definitely
got
have
to
to ask.
know.
Yeah, we got to know. But dope, do you remember anything else about this project?
um, Again, that it was just sort of like to me, it's like again like really cohesive.
Yeah,
And I think that's one of the things I like about it, like the sonic cohesiveness. But it's also to me, it's like that's when he really started to have this revered status, and like
yeah,
the fans and critics and whoever, like everybody was like, this is a like lyrically, he's there. And as an artist, he's also there. And I feel like this was an album where he could show off that, but also pay homage to like his roots and like where he's come, because at this point in time now it's a journey. So yeah.
yeah. It's always fun. I didn't realize this was out, and I was at the record store and just saw it, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's a no-brainer."
yeah,
Which
exactly.
also happened to me. I didn't know this was out. This is Double Barrel, or not Double Barrel, Barrel Brothers with Sky Zoo.
Yes,
I didn't know this existed until I was in the record store one day. I was like, "Wait, is that Sky? Wait, that's Sky Zoo and Torae." It's like, I got to
exactly.
get that. Yeah, dope album. What do you remember about this album?
One of my favorites. I think that album is like, to me, it's I don't know. Like we also talked about, oh no, look, Till and I were talking, and we were talking about producers, and I don't know how we got into like producers, but we like talked up whole Torae's discography without him recognizing it a little bit. But oh no is on this album,
That's
and
right.
also
Yes.
Black Milk. And I
Yes.
like this album because of, right, it's still praise, it's still like Mark Infinite, still Preem and Apollo Brown, but then he's implemented like some stuff he hasn't rapped on before.
Mm,
And Sky Zoo, it's like introducing him to, folks that he hadn't rapped on before. And I feel like I don't know if that's where Sky Zoo and Mark Infinite like linked in,
mm,
but I feel like, right, like that they really built a relationship there, and Apollo Brown and Skies who really built a relationship there
mm,
that would grow, right? So I feel like, again, just having that album it was just a lot of cool concepts, and their collaboration, which I like about it, is that like one of my favorite songs on there is that Black Milk with All In Together with Sean Price and Guilty
Yeah.
Simpson, rest in peace. um
Yes, yes.
but it's just that song, the energy of that song, and the way that Sean Price, Guilty Simpson coming together. And like Sean Price is, New York and they're New York, but Guilty from Detroit. How those dynamics work together, I don't know. It just that's one of my favorite joints, the way that comes about. And then Albee Square Mall, like
Yeah. That
that
was
is,
dope.
I don't know that mall, but like just hearing them reminisce about it, I'm like, but I know that mall,
You're right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Excellent album. I hope they do another one. All
Let
right.
let's hope. I know
Let's hope. Yes.
when we get to talk to him, that's the questions that we
Yeah,
want to know. Cause yeah,
definitely. All right. The last one for the night is Return to Marco Polo. This is Midnight Run by
yes,
Torae and Marco Polo. What do you think about this album?
dope. I mean, I said that already, but um, that album. Okay, here's the thing. In that album has a whole different kind of energy. It's because it's newer, maybe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Marco Polo just he's in his bag in a whole different way right now. And the
Yeah.
reason why I say that is because I'm so used to hearing like he has really done a lot of incredible stuff, but he just was in his bag. I can't explain directly, but it's just the chemistry.
Yeah.
Like the lyricism reflects this like adrenaline feel in the tracks. It's like, but they've got these like really, you know, just really bold hooks, like energy. It's
Mm-hmm.
like to me, it was like energetic. That whole album was like your workout album.
Yeah.
And I loved the fact that like Marco Polo is just showing off lately. Like he's just showing off. Like the Master Ace project, I can't think of the name of it now, but like that album to me, like he just showing off. He was just showing off. And
Yeah.
then this album is just like it was showing off too. Like what he can do, where it's like almost like people are forgetting him in the conversation of like who's your favorite producers. And he's like, hey, don't forget about this
Don't
guy.
forget about me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He is that dope. I feel like the first album they did, Double Barrel, I feel like they were like the young team that,
Yeah.
just a lot of energy running around the field or the court or whatever the metaphor is.
Yeah.
And like they beat you because they're young and they got energy. I feel like,
Yes.
and they have friends too, because that album was heavy on guests. There's several
Yes.
guests. This album, no guests
No
except for
guess.
Dress, but
Rhapsody and Sky, right? Yeah.
Oh, were they on there? Maybe so.
Rhapsody's on a joint, yeah.
And
I don't know if it was, like I said, if it's like a support, but she's on the searching joint.
Sergeant Joint. Maybe they didn't make the CD version. Anyway, if not many guests, at least not as many guests as the
Yeah.
first album for sure. And I
Yes.
feel like this is like the team that's wiser. They don't need to put as many points on the board because you're not going to score against them because they're smart. You
Exactly.
know, they got the good coach, and they're just like, yep, we got this,
Yeah.
just more mature
More
and just like
mature. Yeah.
and shorter, it's only 10 songs. So the CD version has 11, but it's shorter. It's just like few features, just like in and out, you know, but just as dope.
Yes. And they did like I didn't know this. I wish I had like gotten it, but they had like a short run of cassettes, but now,
Oh, word.
it's sold out now, but it's just like that is also an opportunity. Like, it's them coming back. Like you said, I feel like they're running laps in this one. And that's why I was
Yeah.
like Marco Polo was like, so y'all don't remember the first time we worked together. Like we put y'all on notice, but now it's time to really like double back and show
Yeah.
y'all what's really going on here.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so yeah.
So if you could pick, if you could be the executive producer of Torre's next album, and you could pick one producer to produce it all, who would you pick?
Ooh. Let me think about that really quick. I think
And I'm thinking two. I don't know if I want to
because
go
I'm like,
classic,
yeah, exactly. I'm
old
like,
school.
um, I would I would to me somebody I would feel like Ninth Wonder. Like I feel
Ah,
like
yeah. Okay.
I would want to hear that. Like they've worked together, they've done some really great things. That's one. Or Al. I think Alchemist,
Yeah,
like
that would be
the
dope.
atmospheric sound, a story against something really great storytelling from Torae and the wordplay, like do some cinematic stuff. Like I think Al could really bring some depth and richness to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that would be something I would love to hear because I haven't really heard him work with, but Ninth Wonder, he's definitely worked with before, and it will be like wearing old shoes, and I think
Yeah, yeah.
like Ninth is also, growing as an artist and the way that he's growing and Torae is also growing. It's like they're in a different age group now. You know what
Right.
I mean? Ninth is definitely in that, the wisdom age where you talked about earlier,
Yeah.
like just the wisdom of being able to say like what he would make for him. You know what I mean? To give
Right.
him a landscape to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
I was the last project, this was interesting because I used to my little rap buddy from when I was a kid on message boards was Emilio Rojas. And so he does the intro to the Midnight Run. But when I heard his voice immediately, I was like, I always loved Emilio's voice, but
Mm.
he's not somebody that like a lot of people know. I would love to hear more. Like, I didn't know that they had a relationship, but I'm like, of course, like he's also from Brooklyn, um,
Okay.
and he's from Coney Island. But I'm like, I would love to hear more from him with them. Like, I don't know, to put it all together.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be a dope like thing. Like not a whole Sky Zoo, Barrel Brothers thing, but like
Yeah.
just to hear them play on more than just like one like an intro. More
Sure.
like a cohesive songs.
Yeah, yeah,
So
for sure. For sure. That would be super dope. And to keep with
yeah.
the Sky Zoo theme, I have two producers that came to mind. One is J.R. Swift's, who
Oh,
who just I think his next album, I think has a compilation album coming out on Sky
yes.
Zoo's
Label,
FGR.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Shout
that's
out to
super.
J.R. Swift. That's my
Yes.
man's. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited for him and so happy for him because
Same.
he is just a good person. Like he's just a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dope. And so I think Sky Zoo, well, Sky Zoo would sound dope, obviously, over his beats. He
Yes.
has, but Torae would sound dope over his beats. So I'd
Yes.
love to see a fully produced album like that. The other one, I think when DJ Muggs new
Oh,
beats, when like the drums are really full, I think
yeah.
Torae would sound the best over that. You know, he
Yeah.
he does Muggs does some, experimental stuff where he's like kind of just looping stuff and like the drums are kind of faded if they're even in there, but he does a lot of joints with full drums. I think Torae would sound good over the full drums
Yes.
because
I
he's got
agree
that
with that.
booming voice that's like consistent, and I think that would mesh well with Muggs and his just very interesting way he samples, and
Yeah.
I just think that would go together pretty well.
That
So,
would be so cool. I'm like, I would even I'm gonna throw in Conductor Williams and just
oh, that'd be dope. Yeah,
that could because of melodics and like it would get, him on the jazzier style. He's got a lot of soul, but like a little more jazzier.
yeah,
They haven't worked together yet, and like Conductors also, just he's having his moment in the sun a little bit, and it's just
yeah.
like, yeah, I think that could be really dope to see them complement each other. But
All right.
Alchemist is like I'm surprised. I'm like, what's going on, Alchemist? Yeah, hit Torae up and get him some beats, please.
Yeah. So I think it's settled. You the it's not Philadelphia 76ers year, and you and I are gonna executive produce Torre's next album.
Yes.
So we're just gonna put it we're gonna put it out there
That's
now.
in the atmosphere.
It's
Yes.
in the atmosphere, yes. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you for celebrating those albums with me. We are
Yeah.
gonna definitely keep trying to work through these issues to get Torre on the show. I do
Yes.
want to make a note. In 2 weeks, we have Reef, the Lost Cause, on the show,
Yes.
and we can talk to him about whatever we want. I'm definitely definitely want to dig in to his new album because I think it is a brilliant album. He addresses all kinds of issues on the album. It's just
Yeah,
there's inspiration on the album. There's songs that make you like really like tearjerker songs that kind of pull emotions out of you, inspirational stuff. Like there's just like it's a really well crafted and it's an interesting album too sonically. Like there's these beats that just have a lot of texture to them and they're
yeah,
interesting and they have that boom bap feel, but like definitely not just kind of like very typical boom bap, like, just like, yeah. So it's different, like it's unique boom bap. And it's really engaging. I just think it's a really great album. So
yeah.
definitely going to dig into that among other things. So if you don't know Reef, The Lost Cause, go check him out, listen to him. Anything you want to say about this stunning artist?
Yes, you know what? One, I feel bad because we'll have to give him our condolences to the Philadelphia. So we're going from the from
Oh no, that may not be good.
so that's an interesting contrast, right? But I'm like, I love I love Army of the Pharaohs when they were out. They were one of my favorite. That was like one of my favorite super
Mm,
and my first. And I want to kind of get a chance to get it. I've never really asked a lot of questions about that, but I wanted the Snow Goons thing. Like I would also like to know about that because I feel like um that's a different production team. And they have Snow Goons is like a polarizing thing. Some people love their production, and some people are like, I can't stand Snow Goons. But it works so well with him. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's one of the success stories of like
mm,
people that they've produced.
yeah.
Um, so I want to hear what that came about because I'm like, after that, I feel like really the project with MLP, I think that came out of like learning
Mm-hmm.
from Reef and how they worked with him. But yeah, the triumphant, I'm like looking forward to doing a song by song breakdown on that.
Yeah. That might
Yeah,
that yeah, with a few other questions sprinkled in. That might just be the approach to break
yeah,
down that album because it's just so good. So if you're listening right now, you don't know what we're talking about, go find Reef, The Lost Cause. His album most recently is called The Triumphant. And if you
yes,
haven't heard it, sit with it, listen to it. There's just and there's a lot there to unpack. Like you can listen to it over and over again and dig deeper and deeper each time. So give that a few
yeah,
listens. Come back in 2 weeks and yeah, we'll have a good time with Reef the Lost Cause. Uh,
yes.
any shout outs you want to give tonight before we jump out of here?
Yes, because I see Nora Grime is in the house and I
Yes.
want to give them a shout out. And Bill Beats and Shubzilla. And Marcus Penrod just told us that the Knicks are up 8 with 3 minutes left. So I think we might really be saying
Man,
condolences.
they could be up 12 with 30
But
seconds,
it's
and
three
the
minutes.
dude on
Yeah, three
Philadelphia is
minutes
going to
isn't
hit eight
enough. We
threes.
got to get more. Shout out to Mark Cooper and Detroit. Detroit in the house, and we've talked a lot about Detroit. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm like, this is going to be interesting in that time frame because I'm like, also, I mean, Vinny Paz is on the album. I think he's
Mm.
from Philly too,
Oh,
so
that's
it's just
right.
like
That's right.
it's a lot of Philliness. But this album, I'm looking forward to unpacking. So shout out to, listen, Torae, we understand. Game 6 is business, serious business. And we do not hold any like shout out to the blue and orange. I want to see y'all get to the ECF. I want the Eastern Conference Finals to be the Celtics will see y'all. And I'm just gonna put that
Yeah.
out there. Torae, don't worry, because we're gonna get you back. And
That's right.
we need you on the show to break down what you thought about the series and what your outlook is for the Knicks. And maybe this is a year where they finally grab it and
They
like
could. They could.
redeem all the stuff that they have, all the things that they have been shot out of. Maybe it's this time.
Could be. Could be. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
see. Well, thank you. Shout out to Torae, of course, and shout out to Reef the Lost Cause, Dope
Yes.
MC. Make sure you check them out before our next show in 2 weeks. And Prowess, thanks for joining me to celebrate Torae's albums. Really appreciate you coming on to co-host. It's been fun.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Till. I really appreciate it. Shout out also to Joe November because yeah, just always being dope and always having tons of fun commentary. We've been having lots of fun commentary about we didn't talk about Kendrick and Drake. That never came up in our conversation tonight. Did you notice? Never. Um
Yeah.
but I've been having all kinds of fun commentary with other people on about it, and it's just been that's been the news du jour, I guess. Is that where
Yeah.
we go?
Well,
What's you know?
maybe we'll do a special edition and just talk about that
Yeah,
possibly. So
yeah,
very cool. Great. Well, thanks for being here. And oh, and shout out to Almas and Profound for sure. Almas Murad and
yes.
Profound and the whole crew at Everybody's Hip Hop. All right, y'all. On that note, as always, we say peace, 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 peace.